We have been wanting to visit this part of China for a few years now, the province of Xinjiang. We signed up for a tour guide trip, my first time on a tour bus guide. As a foreigner, it makes it much easier to travel around this province. From our home city, Zhuhai, Guangdong, we fly into Urumqi, the capital city of Xinjiang. It was about a 5-hour flight. It was an early morning flight. We arrived at our hotel around 1:32. We grabbed a DD and went to the most popular tourist spot in Urumqi, market in the Grand Bazaar. As some of you may know, my wife does a lot of China TikToks. Since this was a 12-day trip and we have hundreds of photos and videos, I'll be using mostly her TikToks. I don't have the time and the patience to sort through hundreds of photos. Here is us in the market of the Grand Bazaar. Okay, first day on the bus. From Urumqi to Heavenly Lake of Tianshan. It was just over a 2-hour drive. This has got to be one of the most beautiful lakes I've ever seen. The lake is at an altitude of 1,907 meters, or 6,257 feet. And the snow-capped mountains in the background, just gorgeous. After the lake, we have lunch, back on the bus, and depart around 3 p.m. The tour guide tells us it's a settle in. We have a 6-hour drive, or 6-hour bus ride to our hotel, and it's through the Gobi Desert. At this moment, I'm thinking, what did we get ourselves into? For 4 hours driving through the Gobi Desert, other than the people on our bus and the people at the service station, I did not see one living thing. Pure desolation. We spent our second night in a very small town of Baetan. Just over 20,000 people. Surprisingly, a pretty nice hotel and new hotel. Early AM, off in the bus again. About a 3-hour bus ride to Canas Lake. In the morning, we stopped at a made-up, makeshift little village. Really not much to see. Plus it was drizzle rain, terrible weather. Just a short distance away was Canas Lake. The sun came out. The lake is also very nice, but not even come close to as pretty as Heavenly Lake the day prior. The Canas River, the primary outflow of the lake, was amazing. From Canas Lake, back on the bus for a 2.5-hour ride to Berchin. The town leaves a lot to be desired, and the hotel was worse. Living in China all this time, I have learned just to roll with the flow. Off in the morning again. Glad to see Berchin behind us. Now off to one of the highlights of the trip, at least for me. Yongshao Peak. In the winter, a busy ski resort. In the summer, it is visited by hundreds of tourists every day. 2 separate cable car rides to get to the peak. This structure points north, where you can see Russia a few miles away. To the east, you see Mongolia. To the west, you see Kazakhstan. To the south, China. At the peak, the elevation is 2,800 meters, or 9,100 feet. Absolutely incredible views. Really enjoyed it. From the base of the peak, it was a short bus ride to Hermu village. We had lunch in the village, then just walked around the village and the Hermu River. The river is runoff from the Canis Glacier. Really nice village. The inhabitants' heritage are mainly Mongolian and Kazakh. It is said the Mongolian residents are descendants from or of the soldiers who followed Genghis Khan, who conquered this region and were left behind to protect their conquered region. A really nice and fun day. Now from Hermu village, 2.5 hours to Fuhai. Decent hotel, wasn't bad. We wake up in Fuhai. I think we're now about 5 days into our trip. The bus drops us off on top of not a mountain, but a good-sized hill. We walk down wooden stairs to the lake. This place really didn't do a lot. Didn't do a lot for me. I guess if you were a geologist, you had been in heaven. From the Fuhai area, we take a long and slow bus ride back through the Gobi Desert, heading back toward Urumqi. And for hours on the ride, the tour guide taught us everything we need to know about jade jewelry. So glad my Chinese sucks. We finally reach our hotel in the city of Chengdu, just northeast of Urumqi. Day 6 starts out in Chengdu. On day 1, we were told our tour guides would be swapped out on day 6, but not before we make a few stops. Now that we're all experts on jade from the prior day's lesson, we visit a few jade jewelry stores. The jewelry stores were large and very nice. We were asked not to take photos, so I robbed some from online. Wife and I saw the price of just an ordinary looking jade bracelet. We immediately turned around and walked out. 340,000 RMB. That's almost 50,000 US dollars. After 2 jade shops, nobody on our bus bought anything. Really pissed off our guide. We went on to lunch, changed tour guides, which was a good thing. Back on the bus from Chengdu, we go to one of the most interesting and amazing areas I've ever visited, the Turpan Depression. I put it up there with the Great Wall, maybe even surpass it. The Tarpan Depression is the second or third lowest land area on Earth. 155 meters or just over 500 feet below sea level. Death Valley in the States is 268 feet below sea level. Average rainfall is 0.6 inches. The geography and the elements is not the reason why I say may surpass the Great Wall in my view. Around 2,000 years ago, underground tunnels were being dug by hand to allow for runoff water to be gathered from the snow-capped mountains many kilometers away. This water was needed to supply Tarpan City, a vital stop along the ancient Silk Road. The tunnel and canal system has over 1,000 tunnels with a total length of more than 5,000 kilometers, which is over 3,000 miles. Turpan City still uses and relies on these 2,000-year-old water tunnels and canals. The green in and around the city are all grapevines. We stayed 2 nights in Turpan City. First morning we're off to Kumtag Desert Scenic Area. Miles upon miles of shifting sand dunes. As far as you can see, sand dunes and massive ones. I was having a bit of a rough go. Walking up and down the sand dunes is a lot harder than it looks. In Google Earth, I measured around 65 kilometers east to west and about 40 kilometers north-south. Really worth seeing. From Kumtag, an hour bus ride to Flaming Mountain, one of the hottest and driest places I've ever visited. I screenshot my phone. These temperatures with 17% humidity. There is a nickname for the Turpan Depression, the Death Valley of China. I can see why. I really think it burnt my sneakers. They just felt different. Wife said the same thing. From Flaming Mountain, we go back to Turpan City. Same hotel previous night. And then wake up in the morning and head to this tiny airport, Turpan City Airport. And then from there, we fly to Bowler, way out west. About an hour and a half flight, 2-hour flight. Back on another bus to Seiram Lake. I know, not another lake, but it is the largest and highest alpine lake in Xinjiang at 6,800 feet. Seiram Lake to Horgas, a border city with Kazakhstan. It didn't impress us. We live in a border town. To the left of the yellow is Kazakhstan, to the right is China. All right, we wake up in Horgas, bus to Lavender Park. Complete waste of time. All the lavender flowers had just been cut. The next two stops are Highland Prairies and Grasslands. Since I'm from Kansas, it didn't do much for me. Jasmine is from the mountains. She loved it. We wake up somewhere near Nalati grassland and visit. Very famous in China. Then to Duko Highway. The tour buses are not allowed on this highway, so we all get into 6-passenger vans and cross over the mountain range. After the drive over the mountain range, we have an early dinner, get on another bus back to Urumqi. The trip is over. Next morning, everyone goes to the airport or train station. We stay an extra day, so back to the Grand Bazaar.
Come to bring some